And welcome back to the 2012 Boardroom International Surfboard Expo. Take a look. A lot of people here at Del Mar Fairgrounds Exhibition Hall, and it's going today and Sunday through 6 o'clock today. 4 o'clock will be at the awards tomorrow. It's open to the public, $10 admission, kids under 12 free. If you come here and you pay your $10, free subscription to Surfer Magazine for each paid entrant. Exhibits, shaping, events, art, food, music, autograph, and book signings, legends, heroes, a lot of fun. And we continue now. David Stanfield along with Todd Klein. We do have a special guest. Actually, we have 3 of them, Todd, as we come into the booth. And Solspot.com.
Yeah, no, we got Adam Wright and Jens Rasmussen, as well as Jens' son, Kai. So, Adam, I'll start with you first. You know, Solspot. What is Solspot?
Solspot.com is basically a surf forecasting site. You know, we have everything from high definition, live surf cameras that are spread up and down the coast. We've got daily surf forecasts. We've got the long range forecast that can go out, you know, as far as 3 weeks sometimes when you get swells from the southern hemi. And the best part about it is it's all free. So it's a great website. It's very, very user friendly. Doesn't cost anything. No registration, no email. You just log in, check the surf, and get out there and get riding as fast as you can.
So you, Jens, and Kai. Kai is the chief forecaster?
Yeah, he's the brains.
Let's take a look at Kai. There's Kai.
He's definitely the brains.
There. He likes himself on camera. Forecasting, satellites. They're a big part of it.
Yeah, I mean, we use every tool that's available. We have a lot of, we've actually taken a lot of stuff that's publicly available and condensed it down into a more usable surfer styled format, you know. And I broke the futon. I knew it was gonna happen. No.
That wasn't forecasted.
That was not. I actually knew that was gonna happen at some point. No, Jens here is actually the chief developer for our company, and he helps design almost everything that we got going on, and we've managed to take a lot of the really more complicated stuff that you find on the internet in terms of weather forecasts, satellites, things like that, condense it down to a more usable format, it's more user-friendly. If the surf's bad, I'm going to tell you it's bad. I'm not going to hype it up. You know, I'm going to make sure that you guys understand, like, hey, this swell's coming in. It's not going to be the best swell of the last 10 years. It's going to be fun, but don't expect it to be just blowing up everywhere. And so, you know, like I said, we use satellites and we use everything that we got available, but we try to condense it down, make it more user-friendly so that everybody can feel like it's accessible to them.
Okay, within the sentence or two about your company, it says entertainment. You guys have fun with it. It's a reality check in terms of, okay, are you going to skip work to go surf? Is it doable type thing, right? You've got a different vernacular than other forecasting?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, surfing's supposed to be fun, right? And so going and taking it from a strict weather standpoint, if you're on National Weather Service, or some of those other things, that's, you know, they're so scientific and detailed, and there's that concept behind our stuff. You know, we're not dumbing it down, but we're definitely trying to cut out some of the gunk that kind of clogs up what is out there for people to read. And so, you know, we do have fun with it. You know, if we see conditions that are going to be bad for 3 weeks straight, it's like, hey man, get all your chores done, get your honey-do list done, you know, do that tomorrow, so a week from now when the swell hits, you don't have to do anything, and you can call in all those chips that you'd put in with your girlfriend or your wife, or, you know.
So also a bit of a doctor, maybe predicting colds a day or two in advance for some of the people out there.
That's another thing that we like to do is, hey, maybe she gets the sniffles because Friday's not a good day to be at work. It's a good day to be at the beach.
Adam, how long has your website been up and running?
2 years.
Yep.
2 years.
He's not Mike, so
oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah, Jens was saying we've been up for 2 years now, and you know, we've seen steady growth month after month, and the site's just getting bigger, and we have just positive feedback from everybody. You know, that's one of the things is we're very, very accessible. People can write in, and good chance the email's going to come to me, and they'll have a question about the conditions or the, you know, what type of tools we're using, that kind of stuff. And I don't mind going and answering like, hey, this is why this happens, or this is what we're using, and this is why I'm calling that, you know.
So obviously it's the internet's worldwide. Are you worldwide as far as forecasting goes, or is it just particular regions?
No, we're definitely worldwide. Obviously living in Southern California, from San Diego all the way up through Santa Barbara, we have a really strong presence. You have that connection that we like to exploit in terms of, we are actual surfers that are out in the water, so we can see our feedback right away, but we also have stuff that's been programmed to go in all over worldwide, and you get forecasts for Central America, South America, Australia, Fiji, you name it, we're covering it. And our coverage gets tighter, more expanded. Every week we add new stuff. It's just going up all the time.
Well, the reality of the day-to-day surfer or the weekend surfer is the tide, if the swell's coming or going, and the wind. And the wind is a killer in a lot of locations, and you go, okay, I blew it. Or, you know what, I showed up at 11 o'clock, right before the 1 o'clock wind type thing. You guys do say suggestions in terms of when to actually hit the surf, because dawn patrol is not always perfect.
No, it isn't. Sometimes you get that big fat tide, and there's always that silly race that you end up in, which is, do I paddle out when the tide's fat and it's going to be slow and I got to ride my big board, or do I roll the dice and wait, an extra hour before that tide can drop, but the wind could come up, and I try to hey, that's what you got to have to decide on your own level. Are you going to go out and bust out the big longboard? Are you going to try and ride out the tide a little bit and roll the dice and see if that wind comes up? And I let people know, hey, if that's something that can happen, stay on top of it. This might be your target time to go out. But on the other side of things, we're not there to drive traffic to a spot. We're not going to name a break and say, hey, go surf Lowers on this day, because that's when it's going to be.
Where's Lowers?
I don't know. That's someplace somewhere. It might be in Northern California, for all I know. But you wouldn't go. We're never going to go and name a spot. We're going to give you as much detail as you can get in terms of just basic information that rewards the guys that have been surfing for a long time, but at the same time lets the guy who's just learning, who kind of needs the local knowledge and needs to get that experience, he might be able to luck into a good session someplace, but the guy, the vet, that has been putting in the time and the hours, learning about his break, learning about the swell periods, all that stuff, he'll be dialed in. He'll know exactly where to go by the time he's done reading our forecast. So.
Well, Adam, I don't watch the news a lot because it's not usually good news when you watch the news, but I was watching one of the nightly news, and or it might actually sorry, it would have been the morning news, and they do a surf forecast. One of the channels is partner with you guys as far as surf forecasting. What channel is that?
Right now we're working with KTLA and Channel 5 up in Los Angeles, Orange County. We work close with Vera Jimenez and the group there. They're awesome, so we send over the information and they plug it into their nightly newscast. And so if you are watching the news at night and you want to jump on there, you can see somebody much prettier than myself, doing the surf forecast.
Don't kid yourself,
no, come on now.
I see those eyes. No, but I thought that was cool, because you get those surf forecasts, and obviously the individuals delivering it don't surf, so you take it with a grain of salt, but knowing and seeing Solspot.com presented by, there's some credibility behind it.
Yeah, and those guys definitely, they have a GM who surfs, and so he's like, I don't want to have a cheesy product. Let's get some guys who know what's going on and help train up our forecasters so that we can give them really good information. So.
Well, I've got two questions. First of all, does your partner there, is his microphone working? Let's listen to.
Is your mic on?
Can you say hi to us?
You say hi, Kai?
Hi, like that.
It's working. This is welcome to Nickelodeon, everybody. Okay, here's a question for both of you guys. Probably the biggest pain in the butt thing in Southern California, if you're hoping for all the conditions to turn right, and then you've got the Catalina Eddy. Can you give us a brief synopsis of what and when and why?
The Eddy is definitely one of the, what's funny about the Eddy is it's sometimes good for some areas, and sometimes, and I'm not going to say where, but it's not always a bad thing, right? But the Southern California Eddy is one of those things that we all have to deal with. A lot of spots that are facing the certain direction, that are not good with south winds, those are the ones that predominantly Southern California is exposed in that way. And so the eddy itself is spun up by northwest winds coming down the coast. They basically clear point conception, and it starts to create a pocket low pressure that sits like right over Catalina. That's why it's called the Catalina eddy. And so what ends up happening is like a rock in the river, and you actually get that same sort of current, but it's along the surface, and the winds start to spin around, and they form the low, and it's like a vacuum that starts sucking everything in. So those winds actually end up getting pulled almost 180 degrees back up from the south, and that'll start that crumble, and bring in the June gloom, start the little cloud going. It's hard as heck to predict, but if you see strong northwest winds moving down the coast, you watch like the harvest buoy, you watch some of the stuff that's happening up along the Central Coast, you'll have a good idea of when those are going to develop.
You go, it's awful, but if you have patience, maybe at 11 o'clock it's going to glass off before it switches to the prevailing winds.
That's right. There is that little window, where sometimes you start to see the sun come out and the eddy itself will lay down just for, a minute or maybe it's 30 minutes, and you get that special little session that everybody's out and has gone home for the morning, and like might be you and your friend surfing clean conditions as everything starts to switch around. So,
on your website right now, are you broadcasting this webcast right now?
Yeah. Hopefully the guys at home are watching, or the guys that are stuck, doing stuff, are getting a chance to check things out. But one of the things that we're going to say is talk about the board demo tomorrow and conditions that chasing Baldy might end up seeing. So,
yeah, which would be?
I mean, we're looking at a mix of, kind of fading southwest swell, but we also got a really nice little dose of wind swell that's going to be coming through. So it's going to be easy chest, shoulder high surf, maybe with some head high sets kind of rolling through, and it'll make it interesting for the people who are trying to catch Baldy. So it should be pretty funny.
Great. We'll pull this leash, won't we?
Yeah,
whatever it takes.
Hopefully we can get in the water. I don't know if that's going to happen. I didn't bring my stuff down, but we'll see. Adam Wright, Jens Rasmussen, we saw him run off with his kid Kai. Best of luck to you, Adam.
Yeah.
Solspot.com. Check it out. These guys are forecasting for you guys so you can get up in the morning or sleep in, one or the other. They'll let you know if there's going to be any waves or not. Coming up next, Dave, live here from Del Mar. More live action here at the Boardroom International Surfboard Show. Stay with us. Tim Stamps, Matt Biolas talking about MR. Check it out.